I honestly don't know where to start. I love this show. I love everything about it. The humor, the action, the story, and its characters. This is what I love. When a studio gives a director full creative control of their property, and then just lets them go to town with their creative style. This show's just so much better than the shit that we get with the CW. Like Flash, Arrow, Supergirl, Black Lightning. I'm sure there's more, but I just can't remember because they're all fucking shit. But you can actually see James Gunn's style and flair through the world that he's created, and how he was able to flesh out a comic relief character into a serious man with a fucked up past and daddy issues. James Gunn is a phenomenal director. His work on Guardians of the Galaxy literally changed the superhero genre for good. I think that his creativity and his passion for his projects has never looked any better than here. With no corporate executives breathing down his neck or looking over his shoulder, he's able to have full creative control, and his creativity and passion clearly shows, because this is better than any other DC project we've seen so far. Peacemaker in the Suicide Squad was more of a wacky comic relief type character. We really had no other knowledge on him other than that he was trained to kill at a very young age. The main focus of that movie was Bloodsport and fleshing out his character, as well as Harley, Ratcatcher, and Rick Flag. But in this show, Gunn made it his mission to give this character way more depth. The sheer amount of emotion we're given so early on, with Peacemaker killing Rick Flag and then later regretting it and saying, "Peacemaker, what a fucking joke." And how it actually affected him and him wanting to do the right thing and change. It really fucked with his whole belief system and made him question himself. Not to mention everyone just calling him an asshole for how he treats everyone. But then we see him go through a little bit of a mental breakdown and gets really fucking wasted, showing us how fucked he is from everything. Like, if this was a bad show, he could have just said, "I'm so sad and depressed, wow, my life sucks." But we're shown him crying and lying on the floor, passed out drunk, crying about his brother. James Gunn just gets the emotional side of characters so well. You know, show, don't tell. Such a simple rule to follow to make your show or movies that much better, but nowadays, directors just don't fucking get it. They never seem to follow this one simple rule. The show's character development is also really good. At the start of the show, no one's a really big fan of each other. The only people who really know each other is Harcourt, Economist, and Myrn, but that's just strictly professional. We're also shown that everyone thinks Peacemaker is an idiot, and they're pissed off when they get told he's a part of the team. Vigilante also joins the team, and everyone thinks he's even more of a joke than Peacemaker is. It's cool to see how no one likes each other at first, but then they all go on a mission together, and they grow together, and they share memories together, and then they learn to work as a team. And they learn to respect one another, and they make this sort of family of outcasts. It's just the little details as well, like how Harcourt wouldn't tell Peacemaker her name, but by the end of the show they're on a first name basis, with her calling him Chris, and him calling her Amelia. Oh, and of course this scene. If you look back to the start of the show, everyone's just such a different person. Economist actually had the balls to infiltrate that barn and plant the helmet in there. And he tried to save his friends as well, but I mean, he didn't make it like past a meter, but I mean, the thought was there.
What the fuck? What the fuck? Oh my god! Oh shit! What the fuck? Ah!
Leota changed from not wanting to take a simple life to going out fucking guns blazing. Peacemaker actually came to somewhat terms with his traumatic past. And Vigilante, I'm not really sure. I guess you could say he's gotten friends now? I think the casting of everyone in these roles is great. John Cena as Peacemaker is probably one of the best things I've seen in a while. I think he's a perfect fit. He can be serious, but he can also be a complete nutjob.
Go fuck another fish, asshole!
Same goes for Vigilante, but without the serious side, so more just a fucking crazy cunt. This character's just pure comic relief, and I'd say it works the whole time. I really enjoyed Leota's character as well. You know, usually when there's a black character or a gay character, they find a way to shove it down your throat and act as if it's the whole character's personality. But it's cool to actually get a lesbian character that kicks ass and has a layer of depth to them. Like, she's not just lesbian to make the cast diverse. They actually show the toll that this job is taking on her marriage with her partner. Moon is also a really cool character, and I think that him being a butterfly is a cool twist that I didn't see coming. Actually, it was a double twist because I thought he'd be evil, but he turned out to be a good guy. It's quite cool how James Gunn managed to work around his budget as well. Because he had the cops, and he had the prisoners, and they all came back as butterflies, so Gunn didn't have to hire any new actors. They just ended up using them twice, and I thought that was really smart and funny. I never once cringe at a poorly timed joke in this series, because, well, I don't think there was one. This show is hilarious, and I don't catch myself laughing at a lot of shows or movies. But with this show, I genuinely laughed out loud quite a lot. I think James Gunn knows when it's appropriate time to take the piss out of a situation. Unlike Marvel, who has this stupid fucking tendency to just completely ruin any dramatic potential of a scene by blurting out some kind of kid-friendly Disney bullshit. And yes, Marvel films are funny, but at what cost? If you're joking and trying to get a chuckle out of a viewer, and it completely ruins the drama or intensity of a scene, then just don't fucking make the joke. But with Gunn, he knows this. And when he's trying to be trendy or make up-to-date jokes, like Batmite being a Batman stan, it's not just shoved in or forced in to be like, oh hey teens, we're really cool and hip and we're so edgy. All these jokes pay off as well, for example being that Aquaman fucks fish. Because when the Justice League pulls up at the end and Aquaman gets cut that the room is still around, it's genuinely funny and cool to see. The action in the show isn't really the main focus. The main focus is the story with fight scenes sprinkled into it. But that's a good thing. If there's too much fight scenes, then the boring just gets disinteresting and you stop caring for the characters because there's not a lot of depth to them. Whereas, if you have a really good story with characters you care about and relate to, when it comes to the big end fight or the small battles, you're a lot more invested because you don't want to see them die or get hurt. When Myrn died, I was actually really sad. And when Harcourt almost died, fuck, that really had me in the feels as well. You can't really talk about the story without talking about Peacemaker's dad and the butterflies. I think they were both good choices, because with Peacemaker's dad, you got the emotional side of a villain, but with the butterflies, they just want to take over the world basically. I know they have actual reasons for it, but nothing as emotional as a father who watched his son kill his other son by accident after he made them fight each other. And then raises Peacemaker to be a stone-cold killer who is neglected constantly and told by his father that he's hated, who shows him zero love or affection. And it shows through Peacemaker's personality because he's basically just a child who's an adult. It was satisfying watching him kill his dad finally, but it's good that Peacemaker didn't just go, okay, well that's that, time to move on. But they showed even though Peacemaker hated his dad, he loved him because he was his father and the only family he's got. Oh, and I think this final fight scene is gangster as fuck. Overall, this show is definitely my favorite superhero show. And I'm sad to see that a lot of people I've talked to about watching the show haven't even started the first episode. When trying to look on YouTube for Peacemaker reviews, there's literally nothing to be seen, and if there is, then they have fuck all views. I hope that now all the episodes are out, people were just waiting for it to all build up and then just smash them in one go. Because this show definitely deserves attention, and it deserves to be praised for actually doing something different and being good and diversifying itself from literally anything else that we've seen. But I guess we'll just have to wait and see. What did you guys think of the show? If you haven't watched it, let me know. And if you're gonna watch it because of me, then definitely let me know. But I'll see you guys in the next video.